Nigerian Army has accused Okuama community in the Ughelli local government area of Delta State of resorting to propaganda following the killing of soldiers by yet-to-be-identified armed group last Thursday. Nigerian Army Authority, in a statement issued on Monday by its spokesperson, Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu, indicated that the Okuama community that is complicity in the killing of the soldiers has resorted to media propaganda. There is a trending media report on the internet. Therein, the television news media interviewed a man and a woman who claimed that the soldiers initially killed over 20 people after the community resisted the arrest of some persons during the peace talk at the community town hall. The said eyewitnesses also said the soldiers reinforced and over 50 persons in total were killed. The Nigerian Army, who frowned at the allegations, said that the unfortunate killing of troops of 181 Amphibious Battalion of the Nigerian Army, NA, while on a peaceful and mediatory mission, after a reported case of communal clash between Okuama and Okoloba communities in Ughelli South and Bomadi local government areas of Delta State respectively, is not only despicable but should be unreservedly condemned by all. These were troops committed to peace and security of lives and property of citizens and non-citizens alike in the Niger Delta region, murdered in cold blood by an armed youth gang of Okuama community, in the most gruesome, heartless and cruel manner, and went ahead to sacrilegiously debase their remains by ripping out their hearts by the very people they were there to protect. Regrettably, the community complicit in this dastardly act has resorted to media propaganda and shenanigans, rather than engage in a positive effort to fish out the perpetrators of this heinous crime. This again is a clear indication that the murder of the troops was a communally orchestrated attack against legitimate forces. The falsehood being peddled by these criminals and their cohorts to whip up sentiments and sway the public to cover up, endorse or support the outrageous criminal acts of their armed youth gang should be disregarded in its entirety. It is only a ridiculous attempt at justifying their crime, rather than turn in themselves to security agencies. There is no amount of propaganda that would twist the narrative. They are complicit and must be ready to face the wrath of the law. While law-abiding citizens are assured that there will be no reprisal on the part of the troops, we enjoin all to go about their normal activities, even as ongoing efforts are scaled up to positively identify and isolate the criminals to account for their atrocious deeds. The Chief of Army of Staff, Lieutenant General Toeri Lagbaja, while commiserating with the families of the officers and soldiers who lost their lives, has directed that no stone should be left unturned until the perpetrators of these gruesome acts are apprehended to face the full wrath of the law. Troops are determined to get to these criminals. There is certainly no hiding place for them. Meanwhile, the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru Abubakar, and the Minister of State for Defense, Mohammed Bello Matawal, has condemned in its totality the attack on the military personnel during a rescue mission of the 181 Amphibious Battalion in Okuama Community, Ughelli South local government area of Delta State, saying that the perpetrators must be brought to book. It would be recalled that the killing of the soldiers occurred on Thursday, March 14, 2024, when the troops, responding to a crisis between Okuama and Okoloba communities in Delta State, were ambushed. According to the press release issued by Henshaw Ogubike, Director, Information and Public Relations, the ministers. Sirad, the ambush at Okuama community, Ughelli South local government area of Delta State, resulting in the tragic loss of the commanding officer 181 Amphibious Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Ali, 2 majors, a captain, and 12 soldiers, along with the unfortunate death of a civilian, is a matter of grave concern. This tragic incident underscores the immense sacrifices made by our servicemen and women in the defense of our nation. Their unwavering dedication and courage in the face of danger exemplify the highest ideals of patriotism and duty. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR has directed the Chief of Defense Staff to actively investigate this incident to ensure that those responsible for this cowardly attack face the full force of the law. The ministers hoping that We affirm our unwavering commitment to safeguarding the security and well-being of all Nigerians and will not tolerate any threat to our nation's sovereignty and stability. Additionally, we assure the Nigerian people that every effort will be made to bring the perpetrators to justice, and we remain resolute in our pursuit of peace and tranquility across the nation in line with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Badaro and Matawal reiterated the federal government's resolve in maintaining, securing the nation and the good people of Nigeria. Our unwavering support for the armed forces and their efforts to maintain peace and stability across the country is not negotiable. We will continue to work tirelessly towards achieving lasting peace and tranquility in every region of our dear country. Our thoughts and prayers are with the families, colleagues, and loved ones of the fallen soldiers, as well as with the entire nation mourning this irreparable loss. We stand united in grief with all well-meaning Nigerians and the men and women of our armed forces during this difficult time. They added that our unwavering support for the armed forces and their efforts to maintain peace and stability across the country is not negotiable. We will continue to work tirelessly towards achieving lasting peace and tranquility in every region of our dear country. Our thoughts and prayers are with the families, colleagues, and loved ones of the fallen soldiers, as well as with the entire nation mourning this irreparable loss. We stand united in grief with all well-meaning Nigerians and the men and women of our armed forces during this difficult time. The Defense Headquarters and Chief of Defense Staff have been granted full authority to bring to justice anybody found to have been responsible for this unconscionable crime against the Nigerian people by the President. For them, Nigerian security would be better under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's watch, saying that these incidents would not stop the Nigerian gallant military from performing their constitutional duty of provision of security for all Nigerians.
OsazuwaAkonedo, bringing you the news in a more digital way.